Good evening. We are so thankful for all of you to be here tonight for this very special occasion. I am Tracy Morris, President and proud graduate of IVCC. Tonight is a very special night for us as we celebrate 100 years of excellence in education for LaSalle-Peru-Oglesby Junior College and Illinois Valley Community College. Being able to see so many alumni, employees, retirees, community members here to celebrate with us is absolutely incredible. We have a fun evening of reminiscing ahead, but first we ask that you please rise if you are able as the military veterans of the Oglesby American Legion, Post 237, present the colors, and IVCC adjunct faculty member Brandon Chebahowski sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much. And the Post very graciously left steak night to come be a part of our ceremony, and I'm so thankful. As we get started, I would like to start with a proclamation from the state of Illinois and Governor J.B. Pritzker. Proclamation presented on the 8th day of April 2024. Whereas LaSalle-Peru-Oglesby Junior College was established on April 24th, 1924, and was the second community college in the state of Illinois. And whereas on July 1st, 1966, the district was expanded and the name was officially changed to Illinois Valley Community College, District 513. And whereas IVCC has been the cornerstone for education in the Illinois Valley, serving as the only institution of higher education within a 50-mile radius and serving a 2,000 square mile district. And whereas the communities within LaSalle, Bureau, and Putnam counties, as well as parts of DeKalb, Grundy, Lee, Livingston, and Marshall counties have been served for 100 years with high-quality, affordable education. And whereas the college serves approximately 145,000 residents and 6,000 students annually with credit, non-credit, business training, adult education, and continuing education options to encourage lifelong learning. Therefore, I, J.B. Pritzker, Governor of the State of Illinois, do hereby recognize the 100th anniversary of Illinois Valley Community College and its predecessor, LaSalle-Peru-Oglesby Junior College, as well as their significant contributions to education that have had a significant impact on generations of students. In addition, with us tonight, we have Senator Tom Bennett, and I'm going to welcome him to the stage to share a certificate of celebration for the college. You want to say something real quick?
Sure, that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the hymn, or the song tonight we just heard. It's amazing. Every time I hear that, I get goosebumps from the story that it talks about, and when it talks about Americans. It's just a beautiful song. So thank you for starting with that tonight. Community colleges are amazing. They're truly a shining star in Illinois and in education. Illinois Valley Community College is a shining star in the education process and the education of community college at the same time. Can we give ourselves a round of applause, please? You have a tremendous school, but you also have important and strong leadership. President, thank you for all you've done, for all that you're doing. I'm trying to keep up on all the lists of things that you're doing, and I'm behind, but those are wonderful things to do, and more power to you. I have a certificate, if I may read, from the state of Illinois, the General Assembly, the certificate of recognition. The Illinois State Senate and Senator Tom Bennett acknowledges Illinois Valley Community College for serving the community for 100 years as the second oldest public community college. Think about that. Second oldest in the state of Illinois. IVCC predecessor, LaSalle-Peru-Oglesby Junior College, was established April 24th, 1924. I don't really recall.
Me neither.
It's an amazing time. April 24th, 1924, by action of the LaSalle-Peru Board of Education. Congratulations for a tremendous time. 100 years of a lot of memories, joys, excitement as we continue to grow, and we have more things to do yet in the future. There's more needs, and they continue to grow, and that's why you're a shining star today, and I know you will be one in the future as well. We need you. God bless you. Thanks so much, President.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's get started. Next, I would like to invite Vice President for Business Services and Finance, Kathy Ross, to the stage to recognize some of our guests in attendance this evening.
Good evening. As she said, I'm Kathy Ross, Vice President for Business Services and Finance, and it's my privilege to recognize so many special guests joining us tonight for this historical event. Let us recognize our two former presidents who are able to join us this evening. Dr. Larry Huffman, retired as the president at Kankakee Community College. And a fun fact, I'm not an IVCC alum, but I am KCC alum, and he was the president when I was there. So he was a familiar face when I came to IVCC because he was on the board. And served as IVCC's 9th president, July 2006 through June 2007. Dr. Huffman was IVCC's Dean of Student Development from 1974 to 1977. Dr. Huffman implemented strategic planning and initiated the creation of the Foundation's IVCC LPO Hall of Fame and 21st Century Scholars Society. Dr. Huffman is joined by his wife, Christine, and both are tremendous supporters of the college. Dr. Jerry Corcoran was selected as IVCC's 10th president in March of 2008 and served for 15 years, retiring in June of 2023. Dr. Corcoran served the college in multiple roles during his 33-year career with the college. Dr. Corcoran's tenure included the construction of the Peter Miller Community Technology Center, truck driver training facility, and Skill Path, the renovation of the Student Center and Cyber Cafe, opening the Ottawa Center Satellite Campus, revival of the agricultural program, and launched 4 new programs. Dr. Corcoran was granted President Emeritus status in 2023 for his significant contributions to IVCC. He is joined this evening by his wife, Catherine. There he is, okay. We have a number of guests who are joining us from IVCC's Board of Trustees, both past and present, that we would like to recognize. I would ask these guests to please stand, and we ask you to hold your applause to the end. Chairman Everett Solon and his wife Dee, Vice Chairman Jay McCracken, Trustees Jane Getz and her husband Keith, Dr. Amy Boyles, Dr. Maureen Rebholz, Dr. Rebecca Donna and her husband Rick, and Board Attorney Walt Sikowski and his wife Nancy. Past trustees joining us today include Melissa Olivero and her husband Doug, Dave Mallory, and Dr. Lori Scroggs. Foundation Board directors joining us tonight include Diane Kreiser, Dr. Kim Novak and her husband Gus, Karen Nussbaum and her husband Nelson, and Dr. Frank Zeller and his wife Fran. These trustees and directors serve without compensation and are so important to the work we do at IVCC for our students. In addition, we have a number of our foundation donors with us tonight. We thank you all for your continued generosity for our students. Please join me in thanking our board and our donors for their support and dedication to the college. We are also fortunate to have elected officials with us this evening. In addition to Senator Tom Bennett, we have Renee Abraham, legislative aide representing Senator Sue Rezin. Representing the City of Oglesby are Rich Baldridge, Angie Partridge, and Mayor Jason Curran and his wife Kimberly. Joining us this evening are retirees, current faculty, staff, and administration from IVCC. These individuals have dedicated their lives in service to IVCC. If you would please stand and be recognized. So current faculty, staff, and administration, and retirees. Finally, we are so fortunate to have a number of students and LPO IVCC alum with us. If you attended LPO or IVCC, please stand. This is a tribute to the reason why we are here tonight, to celebrate the impact that LPO and IVCC have had on our community. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Rosemary Lynch, retired faculty member, to share the history of LPO and IVCC.
Good evening. I think I was invited to participate in this celebration of IVCC's 100th anniversary because I lived a lot of it. But despite what you might think, I was not here when LPO was founded. However, you've probably heard that old phrase about someone being older than dirt. Technically, I am older than IVCC's dirt, since buildings A, B, and C of this campus were muddy holes in the ground when I arrived in 1970, which means I've been around for about half of the college's history. So, Dr. Morris asked me to present a fun history of the college, which I interpreted to mean history not in the books. That official history is well documented. But here are a few footnotes that are not part of the official documentation. Some I witnessed, some I heard from people who were old-timers to me when I got here, and some from LPO Community College, our college newspapers dating back as far as 1933. When I arrived here, LaSalle-Peru-Oglesby Junior College had just become Illinois Valley Community College, and the location had moved from the high school to 13 temporary buildings on this campus. Those buildings were where, to the east, automotive technology and welding are now located. So my first couple of years at IVCC were in those buildings, accurately depicted as one of the screens showed as we walked in, by one of the college's pet names, Plywood Tech. Classrooms had thin walls, faculty offices were cubicles, no walls or a door, and many of us shared offices. When fellow English instructor Ed Krolak entered our cubicle, I had to stand up and move my chair so he could get in. So you can imagine how incredible a real modern-looking air-conditioned building with real offices was to us as the buildings we are in today began to open about 50 years ago. One building on the old temporary campus, which housed a student union and a faculty lounge, was very popular. This was the late 1960s and early 1970s. So often, there was a haze of smoke throughout that building with a rather peculiar, slightly sweet, and very identifiable odor. It surprised me that some faculty did not recognize it, or at least claimed not to. Cards were very popular then, too. Instead of cell phones, students carried a deck of cards, which led to another pet name that you also saw for that campus, Euchre-U. On the day I came to interview, classes weren't meeting, but a group of faculty were in the faculty room playing bridge. However, before you form an inaccurate impression of LPO and IVCC, let me note that another pet name for the college, and I'm sure you heard this one, was Harvard on the Hill. And actually, it more accurately described the goals of the college founders, who set the requirements and standards of LPO to match those of the University of Illinois. An introductory course required of all freshmen was modeled after introductory courses at Columbia, Dartmouth, and Princeton. So as you see, IVCC inherited a long and distinguished academic reputation. And as a result of that academic history, converting from a junior college to a comprehensive community college meant an expansion in focus, and not entirely welcomed by everyone. For example, while LPO had offered career courses in nursing and teaching, at IVCC, career programs exploded. In those early days, some people indicated their bias by referring to these programs not designed for transfer as terminal. In another change, as the college moved from the high school to the campus across the river, there was one surefire excuse for being late to class, especially if you were from LaSalle or north. The Shippingsport Bridge was up. Shippingsport was a lift bridge on Highway 351 connecting LaSalle and Oglesby, and for those of you who aren't that old, the center of it had to be raised to allow the frequent river barges to pass, and that bridge was then replaced in the late 1990s. In the early days, local cities also had run buses to campus. That had started when LPO was located at the high school. Remember, very few students had cars back then. As the college district grew, students had to travel from greater distances. For a period of time, stories about IVCC not canceling for bad weather were legendary. When radio announcers were reading the list of school closings, as some of you know, the standard phrase was, "Of course, IVCC is not closed." On those days, I remember colleagues saying, only part joking, that students from Streeter and Serena were in class, but many from LaSalle, Peru, and Oglesby were not. And related to driving to campus, I'm sure that you're aware of IVCC's fairly recent extension site in Ottawa. Ottawa graduates had attended LPO. So as the state community college system developed, quite a controversy emerged because many Ottawa citizens wanted a college located there. But that's part of the official history. There is, however, another location where IVCC offered a range of courses for nearly 40 years. That site did not generate as much interest since the classes there were not open to the public. The location was the Sheridan Correctional Center, a medium security prison in the college district. I was one of several instructors who taught the adult male felons there. Incidentally, there weren't any guards in our classroom, and the classroom door was locked behind us. Okay. The interesting side note on Sheridan was the widely recognized observation that the inmates were generally much more respectful and courteous to female instructors than to male instructors. For example, there was one bathroom in the classroom where I taught, so I typically used it before my inmate students arrived. On one particularly windy day, as the students were entering the class, I remarked about the wind and noted that I'd stepped into the bathroom to comb my hair, but there wasn't a mirror in there. The next week, there was a mirror in the bathroom, and I didn't ask any questions. In a later semester at Sheridan, I missed a week because I took a bad fall working in my yard and I injured my back. When I returned to Sheridan the next week, my students were miffed at me, asking why didn't I show up the previous week. They had only been told that I didn't arrive. As I explained that I'd been in the hospital, one of them noticed the metal brace that was just visible at the neck of my shirt. They apologized and then were really angry that they hadn't been told the truth. Later in class, when I dropped a pencil, 3 of them in the front row jumped up to retrieve it. Moving on to another area that is fascinating in IVCC's history, the college's athletic programs. LPO teams date back to basketball in 1928, football in 1930. Teams have had great successes in state and national competitions. Scores of talented players have earned university scholarships. But there have been disappointments, controversies, and some teams with a great season followed by one with no team at all because of too few players. Early LPO teams were called the Purple and White or Purple Raiders. Purple and white were used as LPO colors, apparently because they were related to being first class and to royalty. In 1947, the mascot name of Apaches was adopted. Legend has it that the LPO letterman watching cowboy and Indian movies wanted to be identified with those fierce fighters. They liked both the name of the Comanches and Apaches, neither of which, of course, had lived in the Illinois Valley. But Comanches, a longer name, would have been more expensive to print on jerseys. So that name was rejected. I'm guessing maybe by a school administrator looking at the budget. And Tracy just nodded her head, yes. Okay. A student body vote then picked Apaches over the other options they offered. And then, of course, as you know, the controversy over the use of Indian names led IVCC to replace it with the Eagles. In the early 1970s, as IVCC's permanent campus was beginning to take shape, there was, as I mentioned earlier, some excitement and anticipation about moving into this new and modern facility. However, atmosphere and culture started to change for both students and staff. For a couple of years, faculty and students were split between the new campus and the old one. And on the new campus, there wasn't any planned space for a student center or a faculty lounge, making it difficult for us to gather as we had in the past. And that led to some grumbling. But a culture shift was also occurring. In the transition to a community college, IVCC attracted a broader, more diverse student population. Older, more of them part-time, more career-focused. That had an impact on social interaction and on participation in student activities. Activities that were more successful then in the future were generally the ones that were career-focused. Another issue on the new campus that led to grumbling was the distance of the parking lots from the new buildings. The grumbling was interesting given IVCC's physical education history. LPO Junior College had shared LP's high school facilities. With the move across the river, IVCC was in temporary buildings and did not have a gymnasium. PE courses at that time were required in most programs, so finding places for activities was a real challenge. It was common knowledge that one PE instructor had his students walking around the parking lots on the old campus. And walking the lots was quite a joke then, because that was before the mantra of 10,000 steps as the secret to good health had emerged. Now, that grumbling, I think, has quieted some after this community technology center and its nearby parking lots were completed. But Tracy's shaking her head. It's not totally gone. Yes. As the new community college was settling in on this permanent campus, technology was exploding, and IVCC was at the forefront and continuing to live up to its reputation for leadership and excellence. For a number of years, our students reported that computer labs at IVCC were more technologically advanced than labs at their transfer universities. And we had computers in our offices earlier than the faculty at many community college and even universities. Surprisingly, English faculty like me here were among the earliest to have computers because we had adopted a word processing program for our classes. And that was in the pre-Windows days. It was a standing joke that the computer labs used by English classes had claw marks on the doorways made by some of the English faculty who were dragged into those labs kicking and screaming. So, as we observe this 100th anniversary and work to prepare for future challenges, let us celebrate not just our founders, community leaders and educators with their lofty goals and commitment to higher education who helped make IVCC what it is today. Let us also recognize the many other people who are part of these footnotes and legends with their foibles and failings, who made their own unique contribution to the college's rich history. Here's to an even greater and yet fun future. Thank you.
Got to skip to my part because Rosie brought her own script up here. Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Krasbowski. I'm the Vice President for Student Services here at the college. Thank you so much, Rosie. Any of you out there that know Rosie knew we were in for quite a treat, so fantastic job. We have invited several guests and distinguished guests to share their thoughts, experiences, and stories with us. So first, I would like to introduce Jill Worley. Jill is the most recent recipient of this year's Connie Skerson Distinguished Support Staff Award, and she works in our financial aid department. Jill is known for her positive attitude, commitment to students, and dedication to IVCC and all of our students. Jill, please come to the podium.
Good evening. When I was first invited to speak tonight, I struggled a bit with what I wanted to talk about, how much I wanted to share. I do plan on talking about my experiences as an employee here for the past 8 years, but I also wanted to share, my family has had a 30-year connection with IVCC, and I wanted to share a little bit about our stories from a community member side as well. My husband, who's a math teacher at Mendota High School, was the first person to actually, in our family, to spend time down here at IVCC. He would come down here for LaSalle County-wide Teacher Institute days, and he always looked forward to the time that he would spend collaborating with the math faculty down here at IVCC. We have 3 daughters, Bethany, Melissa, and Catherine, and which I struggle to admit that they're all in their 20s. They spent a lot of time here as well. It started with Kevin picked up a flyer one year for the summer adventure camps for kids. And we spent many summers bringing our girls down to IVCC so that they could build roller coasters around the campus. They could do many craft projects, and of course, launching rockets. Our girls went on to spend time here participating in summer flute camps with Sue Gillio. They were down here for representing Mendota for academic challenge competitions, regional math competitions. Our daughter Catherine was a participant in one of Adam Kinzinger's leadership summits. And we were here often for college nights, Explore IVC. Basically, any time that we had an opportunity to expose our daughters to what IVCC had to offer, we were here. Before I was ready, one by one, they started taking dual credit courses here through the Mendota High School partnership with IVCC. They were able to take advantage of classes such as speech, English, Western civilization, and they were all a product of Vince Brawley's psychology class, where we had many dinner discussions that focused around dream journal entries. So, I want to give a lot of credit. Those dual credit classes were invaluable. When our girls were all in college, they had paths where they changed majors, and they were still able to graduate in 4 years because those dual credit completion was, completed so many of their gen ed credits that they were still able to finish in 4 years even after a change in career path. So those are just a few examples of the way that IVCC has been a part of our family over the years. My employment here at IVCC in the financial aid department is the culmination of several different job experiences, which is actually very normal because no one ever majors in financial aid. But I think as I kind of share a little bit, I'll show how IVCC has kind of brought me full circle. I graduated from NIU with a degree in English, and one of the things that an English major can do usually is write. I was hired by the News Tribune as their special projects business editor, and I joined a talented team that was led by Peter and Pete Miller, which included Lori Chenote, Francie Scoflank, and Angela Dunlap, who would all go on to join our IVCC family. My first assignment for the News Tribune was to head out to IVCC's job fair and interview all the attendees and potential employers that were here. So that article ended up being my very first byline for the newspaper. I went on to work there for a couple of years, working with area businesses. I'm actually going to fast forward a little bit through my life. I had a stint with some banking, ended up being a stay-at-home mom, and morphed into some substitute teaching there, which is going to lead into how I ended up at IVCC. A friend sent me a job posting for a part-time position at IVCC at the student help desk. I was never one to shy away from computers or techiness, so I decided to apply. I ended up being hired for the position, and I entered the world of IVCC as an employee. Working at the Student Help Desk was an invaluable first step into the college, as I was working directly with a variety of students. In a lab setting, I was helping them to complete course assignments for their computer classes. I was helping them complete online learning orientation. This is when our online learning program was really kicking off. We were setting up Web Advisor and student emails. But being part of the Learning Technology Division, it also allowed me to see firsthand all the student resources that IVCC provides for our students. And those include peer tutoring, the Writing Center, placement testing, library resources, and help for those that learn a bit differently. A full-time position opened in the financial aid office, and at that point in my life, I already felt kind of like the FAFSA queen because I had 2 daughters in college that were taking student loans and scholarships. So I decided to take a closer look at that role in the college. I took advantage of a program that IVCC had called job shadowing, and I spent the day in financial aid with Lori Fugel. That was enough to gain my interest, and I applied for the position. I was very excited to be offered the job, and I joined the financial aid office at the tail end of a dream team that was made up of Patty, Lori, Ida, Eileen, and Neil. However, it didn't take long to move straight to being scared, intimidated, and alarmed, realizing that I had entered a foreign world where everyone spoke only in acronyms. However, the team was patient. I read all the financial aid information I could get my hands on, and I was mentored by an exceptional leader here at IVCC in Patty Williamson. Patty is one of the calmest, kindest, and most logical women I have ever met, and combined with her vast amount of financial aid knowledge, I was motivated to stick with it. The world of financial aid involves writing policies and procedures, following government regs, reconciling accounts. But my favorite part is advising and teaching our students and their families about their financial aid options. Basically, this career has my favorite aspects of any job I've ever had, and I'm very thankful to work here. The bonus to my job is that our support staff team, past and present, are some of the best people that I have ever worked with. We are a student-focused group that works diligently to provide the best experience possible for anyone that's walking into our college. I am proud to be a small piece of an institution whose resources enrich our communities. I've made it 6 years in financial aid through a cyber breach, COVID, an entire staff change within our department. It does remain to be seen if I will survive this whole FAFSA simplification adventure we're currently experiencing. But one thing is for certain, the IVCC family is a huge part of why I enjoy coming to work. And every once in a while, I'll catch the name on the side of the building that I work in, and I will smile. I started out in the Illinois Valley area working for Pete Miller, and I now have an office in the building that bears his name. So talk about full circle. In conclusion, I'd just like to say happy birthday, IVCC, and here's to the next 100 years.
You'll survive the FAFSA changes. Please. Please. Next, I would like to introduce Dr. David Allen Keister. Dr. Keister is the driving force behind our theater department and was the 2010 recipient of the Stephen Chari Faculty Excellence Award. I'm also his favorite student from the spring of 2000 Speech 1001 course, right? Right. Okay. David's dedicated over 26 years of service to the college, and I'm excited now to welcome him to the stage. David?
Hi, good evening. 100 years of excellence. and I'm very excited to be here, and very excited that I am a little more than a quarter of the way into that 100 years of history. So this is my 26th year, and it's all been good years as they go by. I started to think of myself, my goodness, I'm getting old. But you know what really made me feel old? It happened 2 semesters ago. Fall semester, a young woman, very first class, raised her hand and said, Dr. Keister, I have to tell you something. And I said, what is it? And she goes, my parents met in your theater class. And while I was reeling in my mortality and some of the math that I was trying to do, she added insult to that by saying, and then 4 years later, I was born, you know. So, yeah, it's happening, that age thing. I want to, well, I've been here since 1998, and I do want to remember to point out that we have this wonderful history banner of all the shows produced in the last 100 years, minus a few years during wartime and stuff that we couldn't find. That would not exist unless it was for Alice Scott, who is here tonight, who, with her expertise in research and library awareness and her wonderful skills, helped go through newspaper articles and old things and boxes of what a lot of people said were crap to find all these rich, wonderful lists and programs and stuff. So do take a moment to look over that. It's in the hallway down there on your way to cookies. And so I'm also very pleased that to have been working here in the theater program, and it's been a wonderful experience. And finally, we were rewarded by Illinois Theater Association 2 years ago. We were receiving the award for theater excellence in the college and university division, and so that's something that the whole team was very proud to have. I want to talk about the role of theater here and somewhat in higher education. The stage of IVCC has provided years and years of source of joy, challenge, and a catalyst of personal growth for so many people. The stage of IVCC has launched some incredibly brilliant careers, and if I went through all of them, we'd be here all night. But I picked up some highlights of some really good names that are out there. I just want to mention a few of them. Mickey Callahan. These are groups of people that went to school here probably 50 years ago and graduated. She left IVCC and went straight to the Chicago theater world and became a big deal there. And her musical and acting experiences, she was a recipient of the Chicago Jeff Award for her wonderful work. She then moved to the West Coast, and she appeared in many television sitcoms and shows, so you've probably seen her all through the 70s and 80s on television. I want to talk about Howard Johnson. Howard Johnson, you'll be able to see him as well because I believe he's speaking at our graduation. Howard Johnson was a student back about 50 years ago, and he left IVCC in search of his dream of improv theater and comedy. And he was drawn to the world and inspired by, I don't know how many people remember Monty Python's Flying Circus. You remember that group? Well, he sought them out, and he showed up where they were filming the movie Life of Brian, and he hung out long enough that they started talking to him, and next thing you know, he's in the movie. And I don't know where he got the cojones. Anyway, he's in the movie, and that led for his lifelong career of working with those people, and he also, as their published biographers for all of the groups of those comedians and whatnot, came back to the Chicago area, worked with long-form improv and improv groups at the I.O. and whatnot, and has written other biographies for all of the very well-known people and names of the Chicago world in improv. He has currently become kind of the national king of long-form improv and spends his time educating and teaching and running workshops all over the country and doing so. And he's just a wonderful alumni. I and Mr. Zelmer actually had what was supposed to be, it probably was the biggest honor, but the scariest time. We worked with Howard Johnson in a 3-month professional improv show, doing long-form improv as part of it, and it was incredibly exciting, and I never want to do it again, but it was phenomenal. It was a great experience. Another name I want to throw out there, Gene Wygant. Is anybody familiar with who he is? He is one of the big names of, well, royalty in New York and Chicago theater. He probably best known for his role of the wizard in a musical called Wicked. He took over Broadway for Joel Grey. He was the Chicago wizard here, and went on to do incredible other things. He was also the star of Come From Away, the recent musical, and he was in the international cast of that, and he closed it on Broadway. Maybe if anybody saw the show Chicago Fire, he was the police chief, the fire chief in Chicago Fire on television, and he's currently performing right now at the Drury Lane Theater in Illinois, and he has a show tonight, so otherwise he'll be here. Great names, great futures, great launching kind of stuff. I do also want to remember our very own Don Grant Zelmer, who is here tonight. Don left the Ivy stage back at the time when Howard and all those people were here, and he went on to a professional theater career in New York, California, Las Vegas, Branson, and in addition to his national presence, he had a 20-year sit-down in Peoria as Zelmer's Dinner Theater. He managed, operated, and performed in many of those shows there. He's been a major force in the world of theater and also in the Follies Theater of Utica and Yorkville. And for the past 20 years, he's been a part of the IVCC stage here, doing wonderful things, directing musicals and doing the choreography and inspiring many people to go on into the field and giving our students kind of the riches of the years of professional know-how. And so we're very happy to have people like that. I want to mention also Matt Valley, who is a graduate of IVCC. He left IVCC and took his talent to the West Coast, where he performed and helped launch many new works in musical theater and performing theater and did incredible stuff. He also worked his talents in hair and makeup and became a pretty mainstay person in the Hollywood studios of doing that. He is back in our community and he runs a salon, so if anybody wants his information, he can get it from me. He also came back last year and was one of the stars of our musical, The Prom. And so one of the things that I love about IVCC is these people from the past keep coming back, and they keep here, and they're here to support. I want to talk also a name, Matt Bain, who, if there's a plaque on the wall for him up there, he graduated from our stage and went on to a degree in technical theater, and he spent time doing several national tours as tech director and carpenter and all of the things that go along with theater. We were lucky enough, he came back in 2015 and he returned to us as a technical director, and he was here until we lost him to illness in 2019. Natalie Verucki, probably a familiar name to many of you, but I can't help but think of her anything but the first time that she was our Lucy in the Charlie Brown show many years ago. But she went on to study musical theater at SIU and went on and did a bunch of professional shows, had a bunch of wonderful theatrical successes, but right now she's back in the area, and she is the LP choir and theater teacher and has just produced Les Mis, the spring musical, and doing wonderful things there. I have to also mention Eric Chambliss. He was brilliant when he was here on our stage, and he graduated and went on to theater education at Northern Illinois University. While he was there, he worked for Don and I at the Follies Theater Productions Company, but he decided to set off for New York, and of course I warned him, this is not going to be a good time for you. Well, he got there, he landed a part in the chorus of Fiddler on the Roof, and within a very short time he was one of the main characters, and he did the run of the show that way, and the next big gig he got was the national touring of Jersey Boys, and so he went all over the country. He's still in New York, and he's having a wonderful career that's just continues to blossom. When theater works, it provides a window into a creative, collaborative process, and it can provide students with the insight for how life is actually supposed to work, and all of those wonderful things. I often thought, and I know that I actually did this as a class project once, that the model of theater should be the model for higher education, and somehow we should do all the curriculum around that. Because really it's based in people working together, sharing their individual talents in a creative, collaborative way, and they're all working together for one wonderful artistic outcome. And I love that environment. I thrive in that environment. I want to mention that IVCC is all of that. It does all of that. Our vision is our students and our community. Our collaboration of all the talents we put together and focus on the one goal of creating the most wonderful opportunities and the best possible futures for our students. So here's to another 100 years, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Keister. We were going to have our student government president, Daniel Sack, share his thoughts. However, he has a test tonight, and we certainly didn't want him to miss that. So next, I would like to welcome Courtney Klobuchar to the stage. Courtney is an IVCC alum and the principal at Lawson School. Courtney's a strong advocate for the college, and we are excited to invite her up to share her story. Courtney?
I have to admit, I'm a little nervous, but so excited and thankful that Dr. Morris asked me to come and speak tonight. I'm a little upset that I didn't make Dr. Keister's list of famous performers of the stage, because it's been 20 years now since I last stood on this stage, and little did I know that my future would be as fulfilled as it once is and is now when I walked off this stage as Karina Stroller in The House of Blue Leaves. I'm still not even sure if I know what that play was about, because most people go into theater for acting or obviously a career. I took the role for my grade, so a little bit different. I did know, though, that from the support and encouragement of my parents, that it is here on this stage, on this campus, and within those classrooms that I built my foundation to who I have become today. Again, we're all sharing memories. Dr. Lynch, you shared memories of euchre. When I came to IVCC, euchre had just started to be played on the computer, so we didn't have to carry around decks of cards. But prior to actually attending campus for classes, I would visit with my aunt, and I would come to work with her, and I watched her passion for nursing and teaching impact many students and the healthcare facilities within our community. I didn't necessarily want to be a nurse, even though it was highly encouraged by my mother and my aunt. Little did they know that, I listened, but I did take my own career path. But when she was in class, I would wander the halls. I would dream about what I wanted to be when I grew up. I would look through the windows that you could used to once see down into the biology labs and into the art studios. I would watch all the students moving around the hallways or lounging and napping in the couches that once were down by the nursing wing there, and I think it's the B building. And I thought to myself, wow, this school is so cool because they have couches, and I'm pretty sure that is when I decided that I was also going to go to IVCC. Many people within our community share similar stories to mine, but it is here at IVCC where careers and dreams can begin. My aunt, Carol Carricio-Haas, who's here with us tonight, now Carol Swanson, she was an employee here at IVCC from 1975 to 1996, when she retired as the Director of Nursing of 11 years. She also met my uncle here at IVCC, Don Haas. Uncle Don, he began his 35-year career as a robotics instructor at LPO and continued on in that capacity as he moved across the river to IVCC until his retirement in 1991. both of whom are inductees into the IVCC Hall of Fame. Myself, the little girl who dreamed of being just like her aunt, started right here. Now I get to share my passion for teaching and learning within our community, as in Lawston, as Mark had mentioned. My dreams and career path came true because of the core values that IVCC embraces. Today, I continue to grow as a professional in education, all because I decided to walk through that door just as my aunt and uncle did, just as my mother did. And now in the fall, my son will be walking through those doors to further his educational journey here at IVCC. It is IVCC's core values that are visibly being passed from generation to generation. Community colleges prepare their students and community members for success. I'm proud to be a part of the IVCC community, and I will continue to promote the benefits of attending a community college. It is through Illinois Valley Community College that we share these experiences to better our community through education and lifelong learning. Illinois Valley Community College is dedicated to creating opportunities for students within our community by providing high-quality higher education. So as we celebrate today and all of these memories come flooding back, I even taught Jill's daughters in Mendota with some early dual credit art history courses. It's really a passion of mine. Clearly I didn't go the nursing route, I went the art route. Must have been those windows down into the art studios. But as we celebrate today, let us reflect on what IVCC has given to us as individuals and our community. Whether it is through personal experiences or experiences similar to my story, we all share our continued support for IVCC and our whys, why we choose IVCC. IVCC has truly given our community and its members so many opportunities to grow, and now, as an IVCC community member, alumni, and educator, I encourage everyone to explore all that IVCC has to offer our community, because as we all know, no place so close can take you so far. Thank you.
Our final speaker is IVCC alumna and education faculty member Jill Urban-Bolus. Jill was the 2017 recipient of the Stephen Chari Faculty Excellence Award. She was excited to speak tonight, but then her son was being honored at his high school, and you know, like Daniel earlier, you can't miss that type of commitment. So she sent along a video message that we will share this evening.
Happy 100th anniversary, IVCC. Just think about that. 100 years of teaching and learning. Just think about how many lives have been transformed, enriched, and empowered. I know my life has been. Hi, I'm Jill Urban-Bolus, educational psychology instructor and program coordinator. I'm disappointed that I'm not there to celebrate in person, but when Dr. Morris invited me to share my IVCC story, I soon learned I had another event tonight, and I'm with my son at his high school senior award night, celebrating his accomplishments. Dr. Morris understood and responded with family first, living true to our core values. And over the years at IVCC, that is what I have felt, plus a sense of family. So here is my IVCC journey. Remember that jingle, "No place so close can take you so far"? Oh, so true. IVCC took me far and brought me back close. IVCC has opened up so many doors for me and my family over these 100 years. As a student, I chose IVCC for my first college experience. I was able to complete my associate's degree, work on campus in the counseling center, and I was invited to play tennis on a team that earned a spot at the national tournament both years, advancing to play in Arizona and Texas. My first college semester and tennis season started out pretty solid until my father unexpectedly died. Life abruptly changed, but I will not forget the support I felt from my social science faculty and the IVCC counselors who eventually became colleagues and mentors. my second family. I still remember my days as a student, sitting in my social science classroom, staring out the window, admiring the tiny little white flowers blooming in the courtyard, while also appreciating the passion my instructors had for their discipline. It was then that I realized what I wanted to do, what I wanted to be. IVCC provided a seamless transfer to the University of Illinois, Springfield, where I continued to play tennis, worked in the counseling and admissions office, and completed my bachelor's degree. So keeping in mind my goal, I continued my education, worked directly with faculty as a graduate assistant, and I earned my master's degree. As you can imagine, being the youngest of 10 children, by the way, many of my siblings did attend IVCC, and a third of them did play tennis on the team, my mom was pretty pleased to see me put my degrees into action, start my first real adult job as a specialized foster kid therapist, and periodically teaching psychology part-time at IVCC. I am also sure she was pretty happy to get me off her payroll. Eventually, all the hard work paid off, and I realized and I reached my goal. And I am proud to say that I have been teaching at IVCC for the last 26 years. I continue to admire those tiny little flowers blooming each spring, and I get to see my students blossom each semester. There is no better joy in life as a teacher than to see your students complete their goals and reach their fullest potential. So early on in my career, I started my family, and as I would leave for work each day, which actually I was heading off to school, I would tell my children, I'm going to school. And it was not until my 3 sons were older that they realized that I was not a student, but that I was the teacher. And in reality, I was a little bit of both as I continued to learn every day. My children soon took on IVCC themselves by the time they were 3 years old. IVCC provided them with their first educational experience at the Early Childhood Center on East Campus. This is where they began their preschool to college experiences. They also attended the summer kid camps, which they loved, and eventually all 3 enrolled at IVCC. One completed summer courses, another started dual credit courses during his junior summer, and the other earned his degree with 99 credit hours, earned the Taylor STEM Scholarship to NIU, was selected as All Academic and 21st Century Scholar, and he is currently completing his PhD in chemistry, inspired not only by his junior high science teacher, but also his IVCC chemistry professors. My IVCC journey has been in full swing and in full bloom. From every office on campus over the years, from our dedicated faculty and staff, IVCC has become my second family. I have had so many learning opportunities, travel throughout the U.S. and internationally to explore diverse learning experiences. I have hosted international students and faculty, and I've completed professional development courses and workshops. I will be forever grateful to IVCC. It's been a good run. Our community is so fortunate to have such a high-quality community college like IVCC so close. And trust me, will take you so far. Thank you, IVCC. Happy anniversary. I cannot wait to see where we bloom next. And as we move forward, I invite you to come along with us on our next 100 years. Become an eagle and soar with us.
Thank you so much to all of you for sharing your stories with us. I personally laughed, cried. I think it's just a testament to what IVCC is to everyone. Can we have one more round of applause for all of our speakers this evening? You will also have the chance to share your LPO and IVC stories this evening. After the ceremony, we have our IB Leader students in the Foundation office to capture your stories on video if you're interested until 8:15 p.m., or you can share your stories through our QR code if you are camera shy. We love the beauty of our student and employee stories and hope you will share the impact the college has had on you with us. Next, I would like to introduce the Director of Human Resources, Mary Beth Herron, to the stage to recognize our IVCC award winners with us tonight.
Good evening. Every year at our recognition event, we join together to celebrate our employees for their years of service, as well as those who earn tenure and those who are selected for our IVCC awards. As part of our celebration tonight, we want to honor all of our award winners who are with us tonight, as well as our Illinois Community College Trustees Association award winners. There is so much to celebrate, so let's get started. First, we would like to recognize our part-time faculty award winners. The Outstanding Part-Time Faculty Member Award recognizes the dedicated group of instructors and counselors who serve IVCC and our students on a part-time basis. The length of service for so many of our adjunct faculty and part-time counselors is incredible, and this nomination process allows faculty and students to show their appreciation to this loyal and committed group. Our IVCC winner is submitted for the State Outstanding Part-Time Faculty Award. If any of our awardees are present, please stand to be recognized. 2010, Mary Black. 2011, Tina Hardy. 2012, Tammy Landgraf. 2013, Kathy Nelson. 2014, Valerie Calvetti. 2015, Dan Serafini. 2016, Andrea Kowalski. 2017, Wendy Lamboli. 2018, Christian Yauk. 2019, Craig Castaneda. 2020, Jennifer Mills. 2021, Chrissy Boughton. 2023, Kevin Hermes. 2024, Debbie Birch. Please join me in a round of applause for our part-time faculty award winners. Next, we would like to recognize our full-time faculty members selected for our Stephen Chari Memorial Award for Teaching Excellence. The namesake of this award, Dr. Stephen Chari, was a respected history professor from 1999 until his untimely passing in 2008. Loved by faculty, staff, and students alike, Steve went above and beyond his role as faculty member. He served multiple terms as the faculty union president, participated on and led numerous committees, and was very involved in the community. Steve was a lifelong learner and a great role model to his students and his peers. His dedication to students and his passion for teaching will live on in many lives he touched while he was at IVCC. The award was established to recognize faculty for outstanding service in teaching, leadership, professional development, and contributions to college and the community. Our IVCC winner is submitted for the State Outstanding Faculty Award. If any of our awardees are present, please stand to be recognized. 2001, Pam Mamano. 2002, Randy Rambo. 2003, Stephen Chari. 2004, Diane Christensen. 2005, Larry Alt. 2006, Koshu Jagazia. 2007, Mary Madison. 2008, Sue Kaylee Opsel. 2009, Kim Abel. 2010, Dr. David Keister. 2011, Mike Phillips. 2012, Lori Chenault. 2013, Abhijit Bhattacharya. 2014, Nora Villarreal. 2015, Dr. Rebecca Donna. 2016, Dr. Patricia Pence. 2017, Jill Urban-Bullis and Dr. Promise Young. 2018, Amanda Cook-Vesperman. 2019, Mary Black. 2020, Dr. Matt Joel. 2021, Kimberly Raddick Hall. 2022, Art Kadelka. 2023, Leanne Johnson. And 2024, Amber Robertson. Please join me in a round of applause for our Faculty Award winners. Next, we would like to recognize our Connie Skirston Memorial Award for Support Staff Distinguished Service. As many will recall, in March 2015, at the overwhelming recommendation of the IVCC support staff, it was decided that the Support Staff Distinguished Service Award would be renamed to honor Assistant Director of Admissions and Records, Connie Skirston. For those of us who knew Connie well, she was the epitome of dedication, hard work, enthusiasm, and student-centered service. Candidates for the Connie Skirston Memorial Award for Support Staff Distinguished Service are nominated by fellow IVCC employees based on their outstanding contributions to the college, students, and community. If any of our awardees are present, please stand to be recognized. 2001, Sandy Baird. 2002, Judy Day. 2003, Angela Dunlap. 2004, Jan Vogelsang. 2005, Marlene Merkel. 2006, Cheryl Stoddard. 2007, Eileen Twardowski. 2008, Kim Stolley. 2009, Jeannie Hayden. 2010, Teresa Karenko. 2011, Carrie Burns. 2012, Sue Harding. 2013, Chris Curley. 2014, Jeanette Phelan. 2015, Lori Fukel. 2016 and 2022, Paula Halleck. 2017, Jeannie Franklin. 2018, Diane Kreiser. 2019, Jerry Lynn Schultz. 2020, Crystal Creedy. 2021, Tina Hardy. 2023, Nikki Van Neelen. And 2024, Jill Worley. Please join me in a round of applause for our faculty, for our Support Staff Award winners. Finally, we would like to recognize our ICCTA Award nominations for this year, as well as prior nominees that are joining us this evening. The college has the opportunity to celebrate the impact of our alumni students, employees, and community partners through the ICCTA Awards. For each award, the individual is submitted also for the statewide award. If any of our award winners are in attendance, please stand when your name is called. The Distinguished Alumnus Award recognizes the many success stories of Illinois' community college graduates. Nominees must have completed a recognized program of instruction or attended at least 30 semester hours at an ICCTA member college. This year's honoree is Jack Shabrowski, and we would like to recognize past honorees Donald Fike, Dr. Holly Novak, Dr. Maureen Rebholz, William Taylor, Daniel Yanka, Joseph Franco, Dr. John Durango, Dr. Mary Margaret Weig, and Camilo Valley. The Gary W. Davis Ethical Leadership Award honors individuals who have made an outstanding contribution to the pursuit and support of ethical leadership and decision-making in their fields of work and volunteer service. This year's honoree is Fran Brawley, and we would like to recognize past honoree Andy Simcoe. The Gigi Campbell Student Trustee Excellence Scholarship recognizes the system's outstanding student leaders. This year's honoree is Elizabeth Libby Boyles, and we would like to recognize past honorees Matthew Klein, Amy Brogowski, Brittany Burkhart, Elizabeth Kunkel, Megan Guilfoyle, Andy Simcoe, and Lisa Twardowski. The Pacesetter Award recognizes the accomplishments of Illinois' more recent community college graduates. Honorees include this year's nominee Martha Hoffman Carestas, as well as past honorees Matthew Klein, Jacqueline Marquardt, and Christopher Smith. The Professional Board Staff Member Award recognizes exemplary professional service to an Illinois Community College board. Prior honorees include Judy Day and Jeannie Hayden. The Ray Hartstein Trustee Achievement Award recognizes exemplary service by a currently serving community college board member. Former trustees are not eligible for nomination. Our 2011 honoree was Dennis Thompson. The Business Industry Partnership Award recognizes an Illinois business that has built a successful workforce training alliance with a local community college. This year's honoree is Sabic Plastics, and we would like to recognize past partner honorees, including the Results Company, the City of Ottawa, our prior hospital partners, including Community Hospital of Ottawa, IVCH, Mendota Community Hospital, Perry Memorial Hospital, St. Margaret's Hospital, St. Mary's Hospital, and Vactor Manufacturing. The Greg Chadwick Student Service Scholarship provides a $500 scholarship to a currently enrolled Illinois Community College student for extraordinary commitment to volunteer service. This year's honoree is our first, Lynn Kite. The Lifelong Learning Award celebrates the accomplishments of Illinois' community college students who have used their community college as a resource on multiple occasions. This year's nominee is Gregory Williams, who joins prior nominees Mary Tully, Daniel Brongle, Joanne Walden, and Edna Olson. So much to celebrate. Please join me in one last round of applause for all of the honorees. Now, I would like to ask our president, Tracy Morris, to come to the stage to share our vision for the future of our college. Those of you, I told some of you that this was going to be about 40 minutes, including my family. Sorry, but we have a ton to celebrate, and so thank you so much for everyone who has taken time. It is amazing to me that just a few short months ago, I was able to be here to celebrate the kickoff, our 100th birthday celebrations with our presidential investiture ceremony. April seems so far away, but yet here we are. These first 9 months have flown by, and every day I walk into work with a smile, knowing that we are continuing to do amazing things here at IVCC. As most of you who have heard my story or have heard me speak know that at the heart of everything we do here is my firm belief that community colleges change lives. IVCC has changed my life so many times, as a young child of a single mom coming back to school, as a student who had no idea what she wanted to do, but had great teachers like Harold Boswell and Gil Meyer, along with Ed Krolak, who made learning fun for me and are the major reason that I stand here before you today. And then as a young professional who had mentors like Bob Marshall and Gene Goodnow, who believed in me and supported in me. IVCC changed my life, and for 100 years, LPO and IVCC have changed the lives of generations of students and their families. I absolutely love seeing and hearing the stories of our students who completed their GED or high school equivalency and then come to IVCC for a new career. The stories of our students who are facing hardships but persevere through. The stories of students coming back after many years after high school, scared but excited to pursue a new career. The stories of our successful alumni who are changing the world in whatever field they choose, and in the stories of generations of families who have attended IVCC. Tonight is about these stories, and we thank you for allowing us to be part of your story, and we hope you will share them with us after the ceremony, which will probably have to go a little later since we're running way late. At this time, I'd like to thank Dr. Huffman and Dr. Corcoran, the Board of Trustees, the Foundation Board, so many retirees, employees, community members, my husband Mike, my daughter Caroline, my daughter Zoe, who's away at school, and all of my family and friends for the support these past 9 months. I've felt welcomed, supported, encouraged, and energized throughout my time at IVCC, and it is truly great to be back home. A few other thank yous tonight. If you haven't had Marlene Merkel's macarons, they're in the next room. They're absolutely fantastic. I have tested one just to be sure. Our welding program did a phenomenal new piece that is out in the entry area. Our facilities team worked tirelessly. Our deaf unlimited interpretation and captioning for us behind to make this accessible to all. Arbor management, who did so much of our food. And our planning team of Sandy Beard, Nikki Van Neelen, Chad Brokaw, Michelle Carboni, Lori Chenault, Crystal Creedy, Ashley Fitzpatrick, Dave Keister, Don Grant Zelmer, Tracy Beatty, and Susan Monroe. Can we give them a huge round of applause? I came up with this crazy idea and they helped make it happen. One of the first tasks that the college did that began to tackle upon my arrival was the development of our strategic plan. And we began with our mission, vision, and values. I'm so excited to share these with you today because they are our guiding principles of our strategic plan, but also because they reflect what our students, employees, and community member gave us input on through the process. Our vision, Illinois Valley Community College will foster personal and professional growth and well-being for our students and community through growing programs, updated facilities, and educational innovation. Our vision is truly where we want to be in 3 to 5 years. It's our guiding star and our beacon, and the 3 pillars will get us there: growing our programs, updating our facilities, and educational innovation. It's been so exciting to hear our students and our employees tell us how they would like to see us grow and fulfill this vision. We are now beginning to form that strategic plan to make this a reality. Our new mission statement, Illinois Valley Community College, is dedicated to creating opportunities for students in our community by providing access to affordable, high-quality education, higher education, and lifelong learning. Our mission is what we strive to do every day and why we are here. This mission will guide our institutional goals and our day-to-day operations to make IVCC the best we can. Our core values. If the vision is where we are going and the mission is what we want to do and why we do it, the core values are the how. These are central in all of our interactions with each other and with our students in our community. Our new core values go under the title of Achieving Excellence Through Our Core Values with an acronym of ICARE: integrity, compassion, accountability, respect, and equity. In addition to our strategic plan, we are working through a facility master plan, a diversity, equity, and inclusion plan, and an academic strategic plan. So there are great things happening across campus, so you'll have to stay tuned. One of the areas that I've been most proud of as the president is our commitment to holistic support for our students. At the investiture, I shared that we had just begun plans for a food bank. Since that time, our newly developed food bank, Eagles Peak, has served 420 duplicated students, 1,411 family members, including 298 children in the households. These numbers are staggering, but it's a reminder of the impact we can have when we work together. Under the leadership of Crystal Creedy, the food bank has expanded to provide single stop for identifying benefits for our students. And through the generosity of donors, we have a full chest freezer and a refrigerator freezer, which are filled with options for meat, produce, and healthier things for our students. The college community has been extraordinarily generous, holding several drives to bring in items that were not readily available for our students. I am so deeply proud of the work our campus continues to do in supporting our students who face food insecurity. It is our hope that this alleviates a small part of our burden so our students and their families can thrive. In addition, our partnerships with Transformative Growth and Safe Journeys provide mental health support and domestic violence support to our students at no cost. The impact these services have on our students may not always be seen in reports and budget and data, but the stories that they share are powerful reminders of the work that we do. With the addition of a Dean of Student Success and a repurposed position for an Associate Director of Retention, we are more committed than ever to supporting our students so that they can persist and complete and reach their educational goals. One of the most exciting things on the horizon is related to our facility master plan. We are doing a ton of work to continue to beautify our campus. You might have noticed that the orange paint is gone and it is now purple. We started to do more artwork in our hallways, including artwork from our Syrian art display and from our students. We are working on a mural which will be unveiled in May that will celebrate our history, and we're looking at improvements in our courtyard. If you have time tonight, right up above us on the second level overlooking the lobby area is a historical representation of our college starting in 1928, going through the Peter Miller Community Technology Center. With our USDA distance learning grant, we will be able to upgrade 9 classrooms on campus and add a huddle room to be able to better support our rural communities. We're excited to be able to expand the way we offer dual credit, GED, and mental health support to our participating high schools. These classrooms will also lead the way in our lighting and classroom renovations, where we're going to reimagine the furniture, lighting, and technology to support our students. We'll also soon be breaking ground on our state-of-the-art agricultural education complex. Very exciting. Our disc golf course will be seeing some additional trees being planted this spring and in the fall, and our parking lots have improved lighting, but they are still far away, I'm told. As we look at the future of our campus, we will be planning for future growth in our career and technical programs, science labs, athletics and event facilities, walking trails, and much more. As we continue to celebrate our rich history, it is my hope that we will continue to build traditions that celebrate the outstanding work we do at IVCC. One of the ways we have developed to do this involves awarding emeritus status. Back in the fall, we were able to honor our previous presidents with emeritus status to Thomas J. McCormick, Frank Jensen, Francis Phil Dolan, Al Wiskowski, and Jerry Corcoran. We're now accepting nominations for faculty and adjunct faculty emeritus, as well as for administrator emeritus and staff emeritus. Emeritus status may be requested for individuals who meet the following criteria: 15 years or more of service as an employee of LPO or IVCC, combined with 25 or more total years in either the field of education or their field of specialty, and retired from the college, and demonstrated professional competence, provided meritorious service, and has upheld the mission, vision, strategic objectives, and core values of the college, and has championed the college. We will have the link on our ivcc.edu/100 page early next week, so some of you who are out there, retirees, be thinking about your colleagues, thinking about the faculty, staff, and administrators who have made this college so amazing. We will also be reimagining our Hall of Fame, so be thinking of the amazing alumni that you know who are doing great things in their field or in the community. Nominations will open May 1st at ivcc.edu/alumni. And finally, we have a lot more celebrating to do. We will be unveiling a 100th birthday mural in May, celebrating our rich theater history over the summer, and we are just beginning to plan a euchre tournament in late fall. If many of you are like me, you may have played a few games of euchre down in the cafeteria, but of course never skipped Gil Myers or Harold Boswell's classes, just for the record. We're hosting an IVCC alumni event at the Pistol Shrimp Game on May 31st. It is free for anyone who wants to join, and then there are options to join our patio party as well. Information is out on the table with the balloons, in addition to some coupons to the bookstore to try our 100th anniversary coffee or to buy some IVCC memorabilia. We would also love to have you there. It's a great venue to do, I don't like to read off a script. It's a great venue with something for everyone. The goal of these events is to continue to bring alumni and our community members back to our campus to connect and celebrate. It is also about building those traditions. We have a new alumni website at ivcc.edu alumni, and we hope you will reconnect with us. I'm so proud of the work that our foundation office is doing to reimagine our employee giving campaign, which includes 54 employees who have pledged almost $12,000 annually, including 7 employees who donate 1% or more of their salary. In addition, our 21st Century Scholar Society, which was created under Dr. Huffman's leadership, has now grown to 45 plus 6 employees who are honorary for our 100th year. These individuals commit to supporting our top second-year students. And then we're going to wrap up our hopefully 100 celebrations with a gala on April 12th of 2025, so we hope you will join us. All of these donations center around helping our students and celebrating their success. And what better mission is there? We have a tremendous faculty, dedicated and compassionate staff, and a leadership team that is energized and ready to guide our college into the future. Next month, Dr. Vicki Trier will join our leadership team as the Vice President for Academic Affairs, along with our 2 Vice Presidents, Kathy Ross and Mark Grzybowski, and our Director of HR, Mary Beth Herron, and my superstar Executive Assistant, Sandy Beard. I could not be more optimistic about our future. If you had told me 30 plus years ago, when I walked across the gym stage after having been handed my diploma by Al Laskowski, that in 2024 I would be the president of IVCC, I never would have believed it. However, as of today, there is no place that I would rather be. We have exciting times ahead, and I am fully confident that we will continue to do amazing things for our community. Thank you to each and every one of you for being part of our celebration and for your support of the college. I would like to now ask our Vice President for Student Services, Mark Grzybowski, to the stage to conclude our ceremony.
She says, insert your comments here. I don't often get the last word at home or at work, and that's okay. I know my strengths, and every family unit has their strengths. It's what makes my family at home and my family here so awesome. My comments are very brief. Happy birthday, IVCC. I'm very fortunate, just like many of you, to have been part of it for just a very short period of time. In the grand scheme of things, 17 years. And I owe a debt of gratitude to Sue Eiserman, Tracy Morris, and Jerry Corcoran. And Jerry, you look very comfortable sitting in the back row. So please join us after the ceremony for a reception right across the hall in CTC 124-125. There are refreshments and opportunities to reconnect with old friends, celebrate new relationships and new beginnings. We'll have students and staff members who are able to provide tours, and please consider again sharing your story with us in the foundation office or through the QR code. Jennifer Heredia is also here for photos outside of CTC 124-125, and we'll have them available after the event. Again, we hope that you will stay, relax, converse, and celebrate with us. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.